You were fired up about this, and Greg Jennings is here.
Listen, hi, Greg. Good to see you. I think because the Bengals have had more success against the best quarterback we've ever seen than any team.
I've seen.
The general public.
Patriots?
The general public has now overrated their defense a touch. I think Lou Anarumo's great, and one of the reasons he gets so much respect is because he's doing this without a ton of great players. Good players.
That is a fact.
But without a ton of, there's nobody on that Bengals defense you're like, that guy. What an unblockable superstar. None of it. And they lose both their safeties.
Yes.
And listen, Eli Apple, I think, was probably more bark than bite, but it's a veteran corner gone. Chidobe Awuzie, their best corner, is coming off an injury. I think they have, in the postseason, and you guys know I was banging this drum going into the AFC title game last year. Going into that AFC title game under Burrow, they had played 6 playoff games. In those 6 playoff games, they were +9 in the turnover battle. They had forced 12 turnovers in 6 playoff games, only turned the ball over 3 times. That has made them look more dominant than they actually are. Now, can they stay afloat? I think they can stay afloat maybe because the offense could even function for a game or two without Joe because it's so skilled. But I do not look at the Bengals as, again, I'm going to say the same thing I said yesterday. How many top 5 defenses are we going to have? We can't have 12. We can't have 12 great defenses in the league. Like, at some point,
but if they're
you
top
become
12,
average.
top 10.
And so I just think the Bengals defense has been a touch overstated because they have been really, really good, better than anybody, against the Chiefs, and that is the standard. Sure. But that's where I fall on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I lean with you. But when I look at this defense, they have done some good things, and none better than the adjustments that Lou Anarumo makes at halftime in almost any and every game. Like last year, they got off to a slow start, 0-2. They were giving up in their first 8 games. I think the numbers are here. Yeah. When you look at the first 8 games in rushing, they're giving over 125 yards. Their secondary has always been problematic. They've always given up a lot of yards. They're not a good overall defense, but if you look at the last 11 games, you got to be like this starting this season off. If you're going to be without your quarterback, you can't allow opposing quarterbacks to be able to beat you in the air and on the ground. You got to take something away. That's all they need this defense to do. You have a guy in Trevor Siemian, if you are without Joe Burrow to start the season, who has weapons. We've seen quarterbacks and teams get by just plugging and playing and staying within what their guys can do, keeping the system the main thing. This defense, as long as they can stop the run and shore up in that secondary, because losing Von Bell and Jesse Bates is huge.
Deal. You lose both your safeties.
Huge. They will be okay.
Yeah, I like the defense a little more than I think Nick does. I like the guys. I think they got potential that they're replacing the safeties with. Dax Hill and these guys. So I think they could be all right. But I still think it's going to be real iffy as to whether if Burrow misses 5 games and defense is solid, They could go 3-2 if he misses the first 5. They can handle 2-3. But if somehow they go 1-4,
that'd be right.
I think they're in deep trouble.
I also think. I know we've said 5 games.
I think they're starting 0-2.
Their schedule is.
Well, they started on 2 last year.
I get it. But I'm just saying. I think that's Cleveland and Baltimore.
I don't think any. I think right now the question is if Burrow's going to miss any games. And I think the reason we have said 5 is because the 5th game is the Cardinals game, and it's like, well, you could beat the Titans and the Cardinals even without him.
So you think he could be back for the opener?
Well, I know we're going to talk about that. I just think 5. I don't hear anybody saying he's going to miss 5, and so I don't think that. I think if he misses 5 games, they're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Joe Burrow's walking around at camp in a Gilligan's hat. Brew, you like that?
It's team. Looks like it's a team hat. So yeah.
Okay. Sunglasses too.
Let's go.
No, someone tell Sean Payton.
It's practice.
Okay. Zach Taylor,
not a game.
On the record that Burrow would be out several weeks. That quote is from Friday, July 28th. When asked for an update, here's what he said. I guess I like that answer, bro. You like that? Short and sweet.
They're being vague. And we still haven't seen. They haven't said what grade of sprain it is. Right. It seems like it's grade 2, right? That's what it seems like, but we don't know. And the vagueness concerns me a little bit. Like when the guy said he missed 5 games, first 5 games, you could be like, oh no, he'll be several weeks is not that long. Or, you could say something, But the vagueness does bother me a little bit.
Listen, I think that the fact that it is not an update is slightly negative. I think because when this happened, this is a 4 to 6 week injury. When this happened, it was the very next day. I felt like he was in doubt for week 1. I don't think he's in doubt for week 4, but the fact that he is not able to come in and say, actually, Joe's ahead of schedule means I would not expect him to play week 1. I don't think it's, just to be clear to answer the question you asked a moment ago, I don't think he'll play in that Browns game. I don't think he's missing multiple weeks with this, and my guess is that he's going to come along to where the Browns game is absolutely playable if it's a playoff game because it's week 1. They're cautious with him. But I mean, I just basing it off other guys. Kalijah Cansey, who's suffered his calf strain, first-round pick for Tampa, suffered his calf strain like 4 days after Joe Burrow. They are being more open, it seems, about his status, and it seems like they expect him to miss week 1 but haven't definitively said it. So that, to me, is where it sounds. But the fact that there's not an update, I think, is negative if you were hoping he was going to play week 1.
Yeah, look, I don't think – I don't mind his answer, his response. Not having information for fans, I think you want your fans to kind of know and be excited about your quarterback and when he's going to come back. However, there are moments where you just truly don't know for certain. And this is one of those, I believe. Like, you're better off not saying anything and just letting him heal, letting him recover, and then surprising your fans and saying, you know what, he's going to be back week 1 or week 2 or whenever the case is. But to start putting numbers on it, then they're going to be held to it. I've never liked that. You don't know how guys recover and heal. So just, if you don't know, you don't know. This is on Joe Burrow and how his body recovers and the rehab and all the process that he has to go through.
Okay.
And remember how long last year it took. The reason they started slowly was because he missed summer training camp with appendectomy. So you assume it's going to take a few weeks to get going. And again, you might be right, Nick. Maybe 5 games is way too many. But if you look at like games 6, 7, and 8, it's Seattle, San Francisco, and Buffalo. So if they don't tread water in those first, if he misses 5 games,
to that
then
point,
they could be in trouble.
maybe you do want him back in the Tennessee and the Cardinals
think you do
game
if possible
to get some of that rust off because that'll be his first action.
Okay. Watch them loose. You guys are just dissing the Cardinals. I might get back on the Cardinals.
Don't do that.
Well, just like, oh, they're going to beat Tennessee.
They're
like,
going to be
why are they going to beat Tennessee?
Hold on. Are you getting back on the Titans or the Cardinals?
I'm just saying we're just like dismissing, like they're like, they'll beat Tennessee. They'll beat the Browns.
I just said they
No,
should.
No, the Cardinals. The
Titans
Titans are well coached, and the Titans with the healthy quarterback are a
Titans
tough
will
out
beat
for
the-
anybody. The Cardinals want to go 0-17. They want to lose every game they have. Draft Caleb Williams with their pick.
That's what they're cheering
Draft
over there.
Marvin Harrison with the Texans pick.
What are they
Trade
gonna do with
Kyler for
Kyler?
another first-round pick and be set up. That's what the
getting a
Cardinals want to
first-round pick
do,
for
and
Kyler?
that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they get a first-round pick for Kyler. Teams are desperate.
Who's giving them a first
Teams are
round pick?
down on Kyler.
Okay, mark this. You think Kyler Murray's not going to get a first-round pick? I watched Carson Wentz get traded for a
let's see
second,
what
a
he
third, and
does
a
this
fourth
year.
after he was traded for a first and a third.
I don't know who's taking Kyler Murray for a
With
first round
that
pick and all that
contract?
money.
Okay.
I don't know.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.